All right. Welcome everyone to our deep dive today. We are going to be looking at the booming world of domestic tourism, specifically in Malaysia, and even more specifically, we're going to be looking at the island of Penang. And to help me break this down, we have this incredible data straight from the Department of Statistics in Malaysia, but we got it courtesy of the CEIC data platform. Now, you might know CEIC is this incredible database filled with global economic indicators, and that's true. But today, it's helping us unlock the story behind Penang's tourism surge. Get this, since 2008, domestic tourism to Penang has more than tripled.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable. It's not just like a random spike either. This is something that's been going on for a while. Malaysians are increasingly choosing Penang for their vacations. And it begs the question, what is it about Penang that's drawing in so many domestic travelers? And what can we all learn from this?
I think those are great questions, and you were able to pull some fascinating data points from CEIC. We were able to just isolate domestic tourist spending in Penang and look at it compared to other regions in Malaysia. And it's really interesting to see that in 2008, Penang welcomed a little over 4 million domestic tourists. Not bad, right?
Hmm.
But then when you fast forward to 2019, right before the pandemic hit, that number explodes to over 15 million.
Yeah, it's a remarkable leap. And even more impressive is that Penang has bounced back incredibly well, from that pandemic dip. In 2023, they recorded over 13 million domestic tourists. So that's really nearing those pre-pandemic levels. Really speaks to kind of a robust and resilient tourism sector.
Yeah, it really does. Now, we all know Penang has beautiful beaches, but so do a lot of other places in Malaysia. So what makes this particular island so special?
Well, I think that's where things get interesting. Penang didn't just rest on its laurels. They took a very proactive approach, strategically weaving together their natural assets with cultural heritage and some modern attractions. For example, they didn't just preserve historical sites. They invested really heavily in these very specific restoration projects. Take the Chiang Fat Sam Mansion, also known as the Blue Mansion. It's this stunning example of Peranakan architecture, and it was meticulously restored. It's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's become a huge draw for tourists interested in history and architecture.
Yeah, it's like they took something beautiful and they made it even more captivating by actually like sharing its story.
Exactly. They created an experience, not just a sight to see. And they've done a really similar thing with their street art scene. It's not just random graffiti. They've commissioned renowned artists like Ernest Sakarovich to create these murals that reflect Penang's history and culture. These murals have become iconic landmarks, attracting visitors who want to explore the city and engage with its artistic side.
Yeah, it's like a living, breathing art gallery spread throughout the city.
It really is. And then that brings us to the culinary scene. Penang's food has always been famous, but they've gone beyond just the traditional street food. They've really cultivated a very diverse and innovative food scene that caters to all tastes. You can find everything from Michelin star restaurants to trendy cafes serving fusion cuisine. They've positioned themselves as a foodie destination that's constantly evolving.
So they've created this like multi-layered experience for visitors, blends history and art and food. But was that deliberate? Like, did they specifically target those areas?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say for sure, without being a fly on the wall in
Yeah.
those tourism board meetings. But the evidence definitely suggests a pretty intentional approach. For instance, back in 2010, they launched this Penang Hill Funicular Railway Upgrading Project, and it significantly enhanced accessibility to Penang Hill, which is this popular spot with stunning views, made it a much more attractive destination for families, or for those who maybe found the old railway system a little bit daunting.
That's such a good point. I think about that a lot. Like, infrastructure really plays such a huge role
Mm.
in shaping the tourist experience. Like, I
Yeah.
can think of so many times that I've been put off of visiting a place just
Mhm.
because it seemed kind of difficult to get around or like a hassle.
Absolutely. And they've also done a fantastic job of marketing these diverse experiences. I mean, you look at their tourism campaigns, they highlight not just the beaches, but the street art scene, the historical landmarks, the food markets, the festivals. They're painting a picture of Penang as a destination that caters to a variety of interests, not just, your typical beach holiday.
And it seems to be working. This data from CEIC really clearly shows that domestic tourists are responding to that message. It's like they've tapped into this desire for something more than just relaxation. There's an element of exploration of cultural immersion, even like a touch of adventure, would you say?
Hmm. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's about experiencing something authentic, something that connects you to like the soul of a place. And I think Penang has done a really remarkable job of showcasing that soul. Think about their UNESCO World Heritage listing. That
Yeah.
recognition put them on the map for a whole new audience, an audience interested in heritage tourism. And it really legitimized their efforts to preserve and promote their cultural heritage.
It's like a seal of approval, like, hey, this place is special, it's worth experiencing.
Precisely. And it's not just about attracting international tourists either. This domestic tourism boom suggests that Malaysians themselves are kind of rediscovering Penang. Maybe they're looking for a different kind of vacation, something closer to home but still culturally enriching. Or perhaps they're seeking a deeper connection to their own heritage.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Like, in a world that's increasingly globalized, there's something really appealing about, reconnecting with your roots
Hmm.
and exploring the hidden gems in your own backyard.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another interesting aspect of Penang's success. Their focus on community engagement. They've actively involved local communities in the development and promotion of tourism. They've helped create opportunities for local artisans, food vendors, tour guides, making sure that the benefits of tourism are spread widely.
So it's not just about building fancy hotels
Yeah.
and attracting these big crowds. It's about creating a sustainable tourism model that actually benefits everyone involved.
Exactly. And that's a key takeaway for all of us, even if we're not directly involved in the tourism industry, whether we're running a business, managing a project, or just engaging with our own communities. I think the lessons from Penang's success can be applied in many different contexts.
Yeah, it's fascinating to see how Penang has managed to like weave all these different elements together.
Huh.
The historical, the artistic, the culinary, the community. It's a cohesive and appealing experience. And it's not just about like ticking off landmarks on a list. It's about immersing yourself in the culture and
Yeah.
connecting with the place on like a deeper level.
And that brings us to you, our listener. We've explored the data, we've delved into Penang's strategies, and uncovered some key takeaways. Now we want to hear your perspective. What resonates with you the most about Penang's story?
Yeah, what stands out to you in this data? What's sparking your curiosity? Maybe you've even visited Penang yourself and have some personal insights to share. We'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, I think Penang's journey offers valuable lessons. For anyone looking to revitalize a community, attract visitors, or simply create a more engaging and vibrant environment, it's a reminder that success often comes from embracing what makes a place unique, investing in its strengths, and finding creative ways to connect with people.
And as we wrap up our deep dive into Penang's tourism boom, we're left with a thought-provoking question. Given this data, how do you think Penang can balance attracting new visitors while still preserving its unique character for returning domestic tourists? It's a delicate balance, but one that Penang seems well-equipped to navigate.
Yeah, so as you go about your day, maybe you'll find yourself noticing the hidden gems in your own community. The vibrant murals tucked away in alleyways, the family-run businesses with stories to tell, the historical landmarks waiting to be rediscovered.
And maybe, just maybe, Penang's story will inspire you to explore those gems, to delve deeper into the heart of your own community, and to discover the magic that's often closer than we think.